What's up everybody, welcome to Money Management channel. My name is Andrei and today I'm gonna be doing an update on MMTLP and FINRA saga.
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up.
And for today's video, guys, I have several quite interesting news. First of all, I will show you some clarifications from George Parker's in regards to his recent post, where he explained his opinion about the first of all most recent interview of former CEO of Nikola Motors, and in regards to the statement of U.S. stock market. And on top of that, guys, I will show you some interactions inside the MMTLP community, and I have to admit that, well, these interactions should give more clarity in the MMTLP story and how it might be connected to other stories of naked shorting and illegal actions on the market right now. On top of that, guys, I will show you several new deadlines in a couple of in my opinion, most promising lawsuits that are still active, and I will explain you what should we expect next. So, and before we dive deep into all of these, guys, please hit the like button for YouTube algorithm and drop me a line in the comment section if you think my videos are valuable for you. On top of that, if you want to know more about technical analysis, if you want to enhance your trading skills, feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel and to join my Patreon account. And guys, let me remind you that July 31st is the last day when you can join my Patreon for lower prices. I will remove on July 31st General Supporter tier and Discord Access tier for $5 and $35 respectively. And you will be able to join my Patreon only for $50 and above. And guys, let me show you a sneak peek what you will have for this money. So, this is just one day of my communications with my patrons. You can see that when the trading session began, I made this call to short WDC, and TTMI. And guys, since then this asset lost from 5 to 11% of their value. On top of that, guys, you can see that here is my personal opinion that was closed for 2.8% of profit. And then I added another call to action to short NEO. You can see that I made a direct call to action when my patrons should short the stock if they want to, and here you can see the exact point when it happened, and it was just a very short term trade for about 1.5% of profit. On top of that, guys, for the people who don't like to short, here's the call for swing trade long position. And guys, since I made this call, this asset went up by more than 1.2%. And it is not the only one. Here you can see that I made another call on June the 20th, and it was a long position on McDonald's, so with the entry level from 288 to 280. And guys, since then McDonald's went up by I believe 5 or 6%. And this is what you will have for your $35 if you join my Patreon before July 31st. And guys, I have 7 days money back guarantee. If you don't like anything in this subscription, you can leave my Patreon and I will pay you back all of your money. So guys, and let's begin today's video with George Parker's statements. And just yesterday I showed you this set of tweets that he published literally a couple of days ago, and where he explains his point of view on the naked shorting problem and how this problem might be solved for US stock market. And one of the catalysts for his tweets was the interview that Tucker Carlson made with Trevor Milton. the former CEO of Nikola Motors. And guys, I have to admit that I totally understood his position, I mean George Paliker's position, because he is not related to the actions that Trevor Milton made in regards to his shareholders, but it was addressed to the position of Nikola Motors on the market and Nikola Motors interactions with the short sellers. And guys, here is the explanation of George Paliker's. In response to biotech debt, and biotech debt wrote this. He literally wrote a truck down a hill so that he could scam investors out of money. If you can sympathize with his story, then your moral compass points due south. And George Palikors responded to this. My article is not about Milton. I do not sympathize with any CEOs that are not tech founders or do not have tech and expert co-founders or executives. Milton is not an engineer and never had a CTO at Nikola. In total, Milton sold at least 15 million shares in 2021, generating proceeds estimated in the range of $170 to $284 million. Another massive red flag. Founders who are CEOs in public companies which are in the growth phase, wartime, should only add shares and not sell, with tiny exceptions, Musk buying Twitter, etc., leading by example. This is not how I would have showcased a new electric truck demo. Regarding demos, making realistic demos is common practice in all hardware and software industry. Remember the so-called golden path that Steve Jobs used to launch his first iPhone. He did a public walkthrough of a product that was pathed for the sake of showing functionality. It was not considered trickery. He wanted to demonstrate the features of a product before they were fully built in as close to a real way as possible. And he was lucky to have was and some of the best engineers in the world to deliver 6 months plus later the first iPhone. And guys, in the startup industry, there is a very indicative statement, fake it till you make it. And well, it is quite shady, might be quite shady actions, because some founders might use this part of their actions well, as not so transparent for potential investors, but the majority of investors, especially in the venture funds, totally understands about this concept. So, let me quote you further. In biotech, Theranos is the equivalent of Nikola's story. Holmes had no technical background or skills. Her CTO was a software executive with no medical background, and the late Ian Gibbons, their chief scientist, took his own life before testifying after raising the alarm internally on the company's non-existent tech. Biotech is often perceived as a binary outcome industry. A drug either works or it doesn't. It gets approved or it fails. But just like Tesla in EVs, there are exceptions, where biotech companies engineered the perception of readiness or scientific breakthrough long before the full tech was real or validated. Two examples are Moderna pre-COVID and Intellectual Therapeutics. Moderna positioned mRNA as a platform for rapid drug development. Reality: before COVID, many experts doubted mRNA's stability and viability. Moderna hadn't delivered a commercial product. Demo equivalent: they presented a strong early-stage data and preclinical promise despite no phase 3 wins at the time. Outcome: COVID-19 validated the platform, and we unfortunately became their guinea pigs with the blessings of governments. CRISPR claimed it could edit genes in vivo safely and precisely. Reality: first few years involved animal studies and big investors' hope. Real proof came later. Outcome: delivered first ever systemic in vivo CRISPR gene editing in humans in 2021. Thanks for the comment. No one in their right mind should ever invest in a company which lacks technical knowledge or protectable IP and moat to start with. With today's AI technology, investors can easily determine or get confidence on any technology field they choose to invest in. If these are there for the trade, then they are not investing in the company's long-term success, but their own short-term gains. That's not investing. It's another form of gambling. For example, playing with the market odds and timing. And long as the rules are fair, then everyone can participate. But some players play with rigged cards, or they are friends with those who rig the market and gain from insider knowledge. There is a special place in hell for such people. And guys, I think George Palikros explains perfectly well his point of view and explains his opinion on the actions that were made by Trevor Milton. And let me show you another quite interesting update in regards to George Palikros' statements. So, Nicholas Rye wrote this. Look at this. And by the way, Nicholas Rye is the person who is consistently trying to receive FOIA answers from authorities, and he consistently writes FOIA requests. So he wrote, look at this. As appears with Stephanie Dumont and the whole FINRA gang after the halt. Her team oversees trade reporting facilities like OTC reporting facility that handled MMTLP. When you turn on the lights, you see things. So, and here you can see the screenshot of another FOIA letter, and unfortunately we know just basically it is the schedule of different meetings that were made back in 2022 and 2023 with the connection of FINRA and SEC. And here you can see that on February 27th of 2023 it was all the people from the U3 HALT committee and from SEC and FINRA who potentially might be involved in the MMTLP saga. Unfortunately, we don't know the topic and the real outcome from this meeting, but we can say for sure that these people might be involved in MMTLP case, and well, with some exceptions, we can use this letter in much deeper discovery that might happen in some of our active lawsuits. And guys, I will show you some details about our active lawsuits within just a minute, but let me show you another part of the story related to the Tucker Carlson interview. So you can see that, Junk Savvy wrote this in response to Trevor Milton's tweet, and Trevor Milton responded, let me show you in details. Responded to Jeff Davis. Jeff Davis wrote this. Imagine being so stupid you think Trevor Milton didn't commit fraud, then broadcasting your stupidity to the world. And Rob Carter responded to this. Thanks for your interest in this story. What fraud are you referring? Be exact so Trevor Milton can respond. And Trevor Milton responded. You can't remove ignorance and stupidity from Energy Credit One, unfortunately. He clearly didn't listen to the podcast or documentary that has been viewed 29 million times. And guys, I have to admit that Trevor, in my opinion, is quite tricky person. Let me show you that Junk Savvy wrote this in response to Trevor. Jeff Davis is the Nate Anderson of the MMTLP fiasco. We should talk. My DMs are open. And guys, let me show you more details about this conversation. So, Rob Carter asks Jeff Daniels about the problem. He wrote, thanks for your interest in this story. What fraud are you referring? And Jeff Daniels responded with this link. It is the official statement of from the justice.gov website. It is official website where you can find all the decisions in regards to some fraud schemes on the US stock market. And here you can see the press release that was written on December 18th of 2023. Trevor Milton sentenced to 4 years in prison for securities fraud scheme. Guys, the decision was made by the judge, and it doesn't matter that Donald Trump pardoned Trevor Milton because, in my opinion, he has his own thoughts why did he do it. And Rob Carter asks, Somebody accuses your master of fraud and you post your master's response. Jeff Daniels wrote this: "Your stupidity is noted. One of the attorneys representing Milton in the lawsuits is Brad Bondi, the brother of Attorney General Pam Bondi. Milton is also represented by Mark Mukasey, who represented the Trump Organization in a criminal investigation brought on by the Manhattan District Attorney's Office. Mukasey is the son of Michael Mukasey, who served as an Attorney General under George W. Bush and was also a law partner in former New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani. In the final month before the 2024 presidential election, Milton and his wife donated more than $3 million to Republican campaigns, including nearly $2 million to a single Trump re-election campaign." And Rob Carter asks, "You are always welcome to humiliate me with your brilliance. Will we set up a public debate? Deal?" And Jeff responded, "Why would I debate AP on conspiracy theorists like you? I live in real world, the one facts and evidence. You live in one created by your own mind and you don't even know it. It's sad from the outside. Get help." And Rob Carter definitely responded, "You won't," means he won't participate. "That's the answer. Whatever reasons you master is a BS. False bravo is ugly." And Scott responded to this. "Wait a minute, Rob, you never say that about Greg McCabe or Wes Christian. Did you even invite them on, or because Junk Savvy is their top performing ally, you give them a pass on accountability? Yet you bust Jeff Davis balls because he doesn't want to go to a casino, knowing the deck is rigged from the jump." And Rob responded to this. "Nobody is talking about McCabe. It's a red herring in this story. I'm trying to get FINRA or Congress to publicly post the market makers and the audited share count. And I understand your position on McCabe. That has nothing to do with short attacks. Hell, Kramer admitted it twice on video." And guys, this position is also debatable, and I want to pay your attention to the Scott Roth's response that he published less than an hour ago. He wrote this: "Go read my court cases. The market makers, War, GTS and Conaccord, asked and answered. There is no audited share count. You have blue sheets and the CAT trial. Again, go read Roth versus Atkins and see SEC and DOJ refusing to release. Congress isn't going to help. And read SEC FOIA affidavit in the Atkins case regarding Congressman Fitzpatrick. It's by their FOIA boss. Congress will do nothing." And guys, the majority of questions that Rob Carter tries to answer already answered in several litigation processes, and Scott Roth clearly stated about this. And guys, I have to admit that, we have a lot of lawsuits, and I want to pay attention to, first of all, I want to remind you that Scott Roth has basically failed in one of his litigation processes, at least for now, at this point in time, against Wes Christian, because Wes Christian filed a lawsuit against Scott Roth because of defamation. But I want to pay your attention to another lawsuit that is active, that was filed by Scipio, and he wrote this: "I am so glad I didn't ask for 2 days trading in my suit. It could have compromised my entire case. Anyone filing suit against FINRA, especially a due process claim, should be very cautious of asking for that in a resolution, as it provides a hole a grisly little snake can squeeze through." And guys, I completely agree with Scipio, because in my opinion, 2 days of trading in the case of Scott Roth might not lead us anywhere. And Scipio understands this from the very beginning, and that is why, he made his lawsuit without this claim. On top of that, I want to pay attention to this tweet again in regards to the Scott Roth's case, so-called slap case. And let me first of all show you the response of No Oil Liz in response to Junk Savvy's tweet, where she mentioned about this update. "How does this helps us to get share count or resolution? Attacking a fellow shareholder is trying all options to open the can of worms. Is better than having a space call of no nothing. And Scott wrote, correct, she has thousands of hours protecting McCabe and Bird Lady. And No Oil Liz wrote this. I just feel we should be spreading positivity and rally amongst shareholder is important. Yes, some effort looks silly or negative on surface, but who knows, maybe a decent judge would listen to all the corruptions and fraud taking place and direct it to discovery. And guys, it is quite interesting position. Let me explain you about the junk service position in regards to Scott Roth. So Scott said that Greg McCabe should be responsible for the actions that he made as the CEO of Next Bridge Hydrocarbons. Junk Savvy doesn't like this, and she thinks that Scott is wrong. And he shouldn't sue Greg McCabe and John Burda in regards to their actions. But at the same time, when Wes Christian files his lawsuit against Scott Roth, she agrees with this lawsuit because she disagrees with point of view of Scott Roth. And guys, don't you think it is quite it is double standards in these actions, because on the one hand she doesn't want to see that some people inside the MMTLP community to be sued, but at the same time she is voting for 100% for the lawsuits against another MMTLP shareholder, and Scott Roth has the shares exactly the same that any other shareholders has. So it is quite confusing, but let's switch to one of the most important part of today's video. Let me show you that we have some delays in the lawsuits, in couple of lawsuits. First of all, in Contic-Wilcott versus Securities and Exchange Commission, we have new deadline that is set on August 22nd, and it is the order granting unopposed motion for extension of time to file response, and FINRA's deadline for filing reply brief in support of its motion to dismiss plaintiff's second amended complaint is expanded and including August 22nd, 2025. So this means FINRA has to make their response by August 23rd, you can see including August 22nd. On top of that, guys, so we have a delay. We have a new deadline in Daniel Oxler versus Securities and Exchange Commission case. And here's the docket number 7. Tax order grants in motion for extension of time to file second amended complaint. Plaintiff's deadline to file their second amended complaint is August the 5th, 2025. And on top of that, order to show cause as to Daniel R. Oxel, Marcos E. Montero. Show cause response due by August 25th. So we have August the 5th that will take place literally within a couple of weeks, and August 25th that is almost 1 month ahead of us. Unfortunately, yes, these processes are quite long processes. That is why, guys, be patient and wait for more details from Daniel Oxel. And let me remind you that he is about to file another lawsuit, and here is the letter that was exclusively written by Daniel. And he wrote it on July 13th, and he said, also the wait is almost over, and the wait is to file his lawsuit. This has been harder than I expected to pull off, but we finally have the right lawyer, the right strategy, and the right timing. It's happening soon, I promise. Funny thing is, they will assume we are done after the first 2 cases are filed and amended. But we've got a few surprises lined up for later. People who think no one knows what they did or that it can be proven, they are wrong. Everyone who touched this is going to feel it, every single one. And guys, I think this might be a real bombshell in our case, and at least this new lawsuit might shed a lot of light to the case in general. So I think that's all information that I want to provide you. If you like my video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel with notification bell, and see you guys and girls next time. Bye!
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed.